stream's on. And then we are all good. Just give me 1 second, guys. Alright, perfect. Okay, hello everybody. Round 3 of ARL, and it is around Circuit de Barcelona de Catalunya. Might have quite a few familiar faces and quite a few new ones in this lobby as we wait for everyone to pick their tyres for the weekend. But yeah, looked like a very good turnout today actually. We got 19 in, which is definitely more than what we got previously, so that's very good. We're going to have a quick look at the drivers and constructors standings. At the moment, Jay Thompson is leading R. Henson by 2 points, but however, R. Henson is not here for this week. He'll be back next week, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, it'll be a bit of a big blow to his title challenge. So, next one in line will be the Ad one, and then Hazard. There'll be quite a few points back, but Yellow Race say, yep. There'll be quite a few points back, but I'm sure that they're still going to be trying their hardest to get the win today. Looking at the constructor standings, Alfa Romeo are also doing very well here. Alpine, once again, without their driver of our Henson, they're only going to have 1 driver in today, I'm pretty sure. Might be wrong there. Oh no, I think they've only got 2. They might have got 2, I think there's 1 reserve, so they still score points for the team, but of course they don't score any points for the drivers' standings. So it's a pretty hard fought battle between them. AlphaTauri is in 3rd, but at the moment, yeah, they're still quite far behind at the moment. So, well, look at that, 19 drivers. We almost got 20, but unfortunately someone to back out last second, which is, I mean, it's a little annoying because, you know, really wish we had that 20, but yeah. AlphaTauri in 3rd only have 1 driver, I'm pretty sure, and that is of Gimstrav, who is back with us. That's great. But yeah, there's a couple of reserves here, of course, and yeah, definitely a couple of new faces. We've got just Scotland over there in the Haas, so yeah, quite a few people. Not looking like there's any rain. I don't think anyone's notified me if there's any rain, so I'm just going to assume that's dry. But it does look quite overcast at the moment, so I'm not too sure if that's going to stay the same for everything, because we see a load of cars coming out, so might have my suspicions correct about it being raining later on in the session, but yeah, not too sure yet. Although, yeah, we can already see a load of people out and out laps. Let's go see the first one. This is Jimmy Jags in the Williams. Looking at both the Williams cars that come out at about equal times. Yep, they're both leading the field, and we got a Mercedes behind them of WXX. So, yeah, WXX full-time driver, G. Hargreaves, the first race that we're going to have with him. And looking at his times that I saw on time trial, he's looking like a very speedy guy. So we'll be able to see realistically what he can do, because this is his first race. And if he wants to try and challenge for any high positions in the championship, then he's got to start it now. And from what I'm seeing of his pace, he's looking very rapid. So I think first off, we're just going to see how his teammate does on this first lap. Doesn't look like anyone else is really coming out the pit lane at the moment, so yeah, we'll just watch Jimmy Jags going horribly through this final corner. I'm guessing he's got a massive snap, so I'm going to assume he's carry on with that lap. May as well still get a first lap in just in case. Not looking like there's an invalidation there again for him. So we're just going to watch now, going down into turn 1. His Williams teammate follows behind him, and Jimmy Jags in number 25. Looking like a very nice turn 1. Turn 2, a little bit wide there, but I think he's still got some very nice momentum. He did take a wider line here, instead of going for the more inside line, which you sometimes see in time trials. You can now see him go down all the way into 4th gear, putting the power on pretty nicely. Still quite a few corrections, but at the moment it's looking quite nice for his lap. Very nice in the curve there, a little bit of a slide, but at the moment it's still okay. Now I think this is going down into turn 7, I want to say, but I'm not going to be too sure there. Looking like a massive slide to the left there, so maybe not the quickest lap from Jimmy here, having a lift off there as well, which normally is flat in qualifying conditions. So we're just going to see now as he enters the 3rd sector. I'm guessing his teammate has taken off that 2nd purple sector from him. I'm now going to see him go through this very windy and very difficult final sector, especially if you're on a lower traction, but Jimmy Jags is not. So we're going to now see him come through the final two corners. This one's almost flat, as we see here. He doesn't shift down from 7th. He's going to go to the line. He'll be the first time a 1:13.1, which is immediately beaten by his teammate by 1.2 seconds here, going up to a 1:11.9, which is a very nice lap. Kazwari comes into P2 with a 13.0 and is immediately replaced by WXX at P2 as well. Nobody in the 112s yet, but we've got a driver in the 111s. Sector 3's got a yellow flag. That's Hafiz Rooney popping up into P5. Now it's going to be P6 as Hazard goes up in P2 with a 12.5. Sammy Bishop comes into P7 with a 1:14.6. So yeah, we've got quite a big spread of laps here. Matic Rave goes into P8 with a 15.1. We have got, that was on the Ferrari starting a lap. And at the moment, yep, there's another Haas of just Scotland going into P6 with a 13.1. So it's looking quite close, from about 3rd to 6th here. So it's going to be a very nice midfield battle from what I'm seeing here. There's a Ferrari crossing a line, although I think it's to start a lap. Alfa Romeo as well. Where are they going to end up? Jake Thompson comes into second with a couple tenths off, but is a very nice lap from our championship leader at the moment. So it's looking very good for him. That was a McLaren crossing the line, but that was just someone starting a lap. Mercedes going across the line as well, just starting a lap too. That would be the two Williams there. Chance Lowry actually. Has he qualified on mediums? Yeah, he has. Sayara is out on intermediate tyres for some reason. I'm just going to assume that's just to make sure everything's looking really okay for him. That's a Mercedes slowing very, very, very far down right there. Matic Rave, is he going for another push lap? I don't think so. Nah, 6.6 down. So I'm going to see here, I think that's an Aston Martin that's come across the line. That was the intermediate tyre runner. Comes into P11. Only a couple tenths actually on Matic Rave. So good luck from him. I think that was Rido G leading the session, I'm pretty sure. So I was going to quickly invite them back, wherever they are. Let's see. I think it was Rido G. Yeah, Rido G. Besides Apex Ferrari Club there, coming up into P9. That was a Ferrari J-Horse coming up into P2. The reserve driver in Ferrari now. This is a very nice lap from him. There's another Alpine coming across the line. Where would he go? Yep, up into P7, MX Testarossa. And that was also another McLaren crossing the line. I think that was... oh yeah, Izzy. There you go, up into P3 there. Very nice lap. So yeah, the field split's looking a little less distant from what we saw at the very first couple of laps, of course, when we saw G. Hargreaves about 1.2 seconds ahead of his teammate, but now at the moment it's not looking too bad. We've still got some very, very, very close laps. If we look once again from P7 down to P11, basically separated by a tenth there, so very nice from everyone there. MX Morin covers invalidated. I think Sammy Bishop is on another lap, although he does come into the pits. Look, he was on a pretty decent lap there. That's Mercedes coming into the pits as well, the Aston Martin. Yep, also coming into the pits, just watch out for the bump on the entry of that corner. That bump is basically lethal. We can see it, but nearly going into the wall. So I think that's Jay Horse coming to finish lap. That's Aswan Juperi. One new guy's in here as well, setting a purple first sector, which is looking very good. Whereas he's back in the car, but he can't control the vehicle again, but that was not very good from Aswan Juperi. He's validating his lap there. That's a McLaren. It's coming into pits. MX, yep, that was what I talked about in the pit lane. It's very difficult to try and get that one perfectly nailed there, so they got to come in a lot slower than what they normally do. That's another Aston Martin out. I know that's a Perry. I think you only have a couple of drivers out here at the moment. There's people on outlaps and MX Testarossa at the moment, so nothing too much going there. I mean, yeah, Rido G once again saying they're back in the car, but they can't control the vehicle again. Bit of a shame, but yeah, I'm sorry, Rido G. I know it's basically quite annoying there. We're seeing 111's ref. Oh yes, WXX, you are seeing that right. Okay, let's see, who else is on laps here? I think Aswan Perry, so 16-1, there's a bad lap. Is he going to go for another one? He is, he's going for another purple first sector. He must be really liking that first sector, especially on lower ERS levels. So, a bit mental there actually. Didn't think he'd be doing that, especially on that lower ERS and also over tyres technically, although that was a much worse corner there. I mean, at least it's not invalidated like his previous lap. Looking a little bit scruffy on there, or that could just be the lag. We're going to now see him come through this sector as well. No purple sector this time, of course, probably because of or basically the limited amount of ERS. But we're still going to see him, because he's one of the 3 drivers to not make a lap in now. I know one of them is Rido G, which is just, yeah, it's just unfortunate that he can't set his lap, really. Shame he can't like drive the car or anything, but yeah. Here we go, we're going to see Aswan Juperi with a very nice lap there. It's 12.3 with basically limited ERS. That's very nice of him. G Hargreaves here, we're going to watch him now as well. On another lap, he was a couple hundredths up in the first sector. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the middle sector, although we can only see when he gets to it. I think that was, yeah, Hazard just starting a lap there, I'm pretty sure. So, don't think I missed anything, I hope. I mean, I don't know, Hazard is getting ahead of Jay Thompson, sorry. Yeah, G Hargreaves a couple of cents up. Hazard up to P4. I completely missed that, very sorry. Using now G Hargreaves, keep going once again through this final sector, making sure to put too much throttle on, otherwise you will spin the car. Speaking of which, behind them there's a yellow flag. We're going to now see G Hargreaves come across the line. Is it an improvement? It definitely is. 2.5 tenths improvement, and it is up, well, further into P1, and it's looking very nice from him. Hazard has invalidated his lap, but I'm pretty sure he already set his. We'll see who else on the lap here at the moment. I think Chazwari, I don't know if he just, he just improved up into P7, so very nice from him. Jimmy Jags, I think he might have said another lap was did not improve, I don't think he did. But the Red Bulls here, also looking like they're on laps. Sammy, a couple of tenths up, so we're going to watch him for the moment. I know J Hall's also on the lap, so we'll cut to him in a second. So we're just going to watch Sammy. Yellow flag set to 3. That looks like just a low fuel mode, basically there, we'll just go slow. Sammy here, going to probably come across the line, and we're going to see what he is going to do. Coming across now, it is ahead of his teammate, half second up as well. Sayar is invalidated their lap on the medium tyres. Jim Strapp's still in the garage, so not too sure what's going on there. Jay Hall's here, a 10th up as well. You'll see where he is now. A little bit less up, but once again, you can see at the bottom right of your screen, that is an invalid lap, so he's going to have to probably come into the pits immediately and go again. Who else on laps? We've got Izzy there on a lap as well. Hazard looking like he's on a lap 2, or is he just, I don't know, he might be pushing for the sake of it, yeah, because CRS is not going down. He's going to make sure not to block Izzy here. It's very close, but does get out of the way in time. Looks like that is the other McLaren there. Oh no, it's a Haas, sorry. 2.5 tenths up, sorry, from Izzy. Looking like a pretty decent lap. I think that was WXX moving up to P8 as well. The Haas is finally got out of the way for Izzy. And we're going to now see them come across the line in this final turn. Very nice there. Basically no lifting. We'll come across the line now. What is the time? Into P2, which is very nice for the McLaren team. We're going to now see, I think WXX is invalid. Not invalid, sorry, he wasn't going for a lap, sorry. I think that was just Scotland, yep, going ahead up into P10. I think that's Testarossa going for a lap as well. The other fact it's a 1, that's just behind them, so there's no worries for them. Let's go see if Rido G can get into the car. Right, that's right, if I miss anything, that's just me trying to help Rido G try and get back into his car, so I'm really sorry if I do miss anything. WXX, I think so, going to the pits, yeah. One of the McLarens as well, that looks a bit easy, so yeah, that's into the pits. Scotland is still pushing, so we're going to see, never mind, he has invalidated. Who is that? Is that Aston Martin? So, oh, that's WXX in the gravel. Bit of an interesting place to spin it there, although it looks like he's tried to go into the pit entry, make sure there's no disqualification here or anything, and there is none. MX Testarossa comes up into P8, very nice from him. But let's go watch his Aston Martin, and that one. Where is the other one? Sorry, okay, never mind, they are on an outlap. Okay, right, all these guys are on outlap, so I'm going to quickly see if I can just, let's see.
Pastor Maldonado's 2012 win unfortunately turned out to be his only podium in the sport. However, the race weekend saw him set some world firsts in the process. Maldonado became the first Venezuelan driver to start from pole, finish on the podium and win a race. It was back in 1994 that Michael Schumacher managed to finish in second place despite driving over half the race with only fifth gear. The Benetton B194 Schumacher was driving.
Okay, very sorry about that, guys, but hopefully that could work. I think Jimmy Jag's in the middle of a lap here, so we're just gonna watch them just for a moment. Oh, no, never mind, backing off. Okay, so go down for a second, control them from now. I can't do anything. So yeah, I don't think I can really do much about that. I think Sayara's about to cross the line here. 1:11.2. Sayara is going extremely fast on those soft tyres. I just caught that. Wow, after a lap and a half that is, going about 3.5 tenths ahead of the field. Apex Motoring Club also going to come across the line soon. Looking like a massive improvement here, up into P13. Those last couple of positions here, very close. We're going to see, I think, let's see, who else are we going to get on board with? Very sorry. Dick Jacobs as well, just about to finish the lap. Let's see what his lap is going to be, up into P2. Still a couple tenths down on Sayara's there, so it's a very solid lap. You'll watch one of the Alfa Romeos finish their lap as well. Never mind, they're going to the pit lane. Let's see who else is out at the moment. Hakkasuni's on out lap. Jimmy Jags looks like it's starting their lap again. So I just want to make sure there's nobody else on laps. Looks like Epic Motoring Club is. Sammy's on a out lap. And Mercedes of X McDonald there. Haven't really mentioned him at all, so we're going to see him come across the line in a second. What is his time going to be? Improvement up into P10, goes ahead of his teammate. Very nice. Jimmy Jags kept a half down. I'm trying to see if anyone else is on laps higher up the field. Agile Perry is invalidated. So yeah, it looks like Jimmy Jags will be next one to cross the line, if I'm not mistaken. There's another Aston Martin, but that's one. Sorry. Jimmy Jags, look at him, almost invalidated there. I think with the lower ERS level, just starting to get to him here. 2 tenths down, but we're still going to just have a look at this lap, just see if anything else can happen. I think it's unfortunate for Rider G here. Oh yeah, it's going to look at Jimmy here, yeah. Backing off for this lap too. Hakkasuni 7 tenths down, going to look at Izzy. Nope, Izzy's starting a lap as well. X McDonald, yeah, we looked at him already. Scotland is on a lap, so let's go have a look at that as well. Don't think anyone else is going to head. He is on one. Looking a little bit clumsy going through there. Just going to see now in the second sector. 1.5 points down, so he still could pull back in the last sector. But we're just going to see. Just going to pick Rider G here. Now he's coming to the pits, so I think that's Jim's trap as well. Only going to 1 lap here actually, so we're just going to sit on board him just for a moment. Once again, speed. I think it's one of his first laps since Bahrain, so we're just going to see how he does. Yeah, I need to put Rider G in last. It's very bad on the curve there, but I know he's still looking okay. I think that's just the next Testarossa starting that. Oh, and that's really not where you want to go there. I think that's one of the Alfa Romeo's finishing on that. No, it wasn't. It was starting a lap. Sorry. He looked like they were on a lap, but then was backed off. So they need to get one going very soon. Who else is on laps here? I think that's Mark McLaren and Hakkasuni. You on that? No, you are not. So might be trying to give your teammate a tow here, but they've got to hurry up because that's a Haas of someone, if I can find them. Massive Raven, never mind, they are on an out lap, so it looks like they're going to get towed. So Massive Raven is out. Might have been complaining about a little bit of blocking there, but we're just going to have to see. Looking at that was Sayara's, yeah, doing one more lap there. That was also a that's X McDonald sitting there. Make sure not to get penalty for blocking the pit lane there. Sammy Bishop starting a lap as well. Okay, right. It's been very eventful this session. That's Ferrari starting the lap, but he can't make it to the line in time, actually. That's another thing. About half these guys couldn't make it to the line in time, actually, so that's horrible. I didn't even realise there was that much left in the session. We need to see, is anyone here on laps? Cyrus is a couple of hundreds up, but they haven't validated. About Izzy here, only a few hundreds down. We're going to see what their time is going into the section. That's about 600s down. Look at Jay Thompson, 1 second down and validate. Chaz Wari, a couple of tenths up, and coming into the final corner now. Lifting quite a bit though, so that must have been a mistake. WXX also making a mistake. Apex Motoring Club as well on laps. Sammy Bishop as well. We're going to watch Izzy here coming through the final corner. Then we're going to watch two. Are they going to make any improvements? No, stayed 1 tenth down with that little ERS mistake there. They're not going to be able to improve. WXX also coming to the pits. Apex Motoring Club is, well, I was going to say being blocked, but it looks like they're going through. Apex Motoring Club is going to pull into the pits, as with their teammate Sammy. So that looks to be qualifying. And yes, Sayara's, one of you guys, is on pole. And as a reserve, that is a very nice time. 1:11.294. J-Haw's in P2 after missing a line by about a couple seconds there. He's in P2, so very nice at least from him to get up there. G. Hargreaves on his first race is in P3, and that is very nice also from him. Izzy in P4, one of our new guys as well, so very good from them. MX Testarossa in P5, and I'm pretty sure he's also new. So yeah, that top 5 is looking, well, basically almost new there besides J-Horse. So yep, very nice to see a pretty new top 5. Sometimes you don't want it to always be the same guys, and I'm just waiting for, that's Apex Motoring Club, yeah, it's coming into the pit. So I'll just quickly look through the top 5 again after that, and then there we go. So just waiting for Apex Motoring Club. I don't know what's taking so long. There we go. So yeah, this is our grid. Cyro's on pole by 2.4 tenths with 1:11.2. J-Hill's in P2 in that Ferrari, the only one who is repeating a race here, or the only one was recurring from a previous race. In this top 5, we've got G. Hargreaves in P3, very nice lap for their first race, as with Izzy and MX Testarossa in P4 and P5. Hazard and Jay Thompson in P6 and 7, respectively, for the Alfa Romeos, so still very good from them. Aswan Juperi, one of the first new guys in as well, in P8. Chaswari in P9. XMC Donald in P10 and 11 for the Mercedes team as well. WXX bringing up behind him. Scotland in P12 and a Haas. Apex Motoring Club and Jimmy Jackson P13 P14. Dramatic Rave P16. No, Max in P15, sorry. Hafizuni in P16. Sammy Bishop in P17. Rhino G in P18. And Jim Strav rounds up the grid. There is such little time to read out that whole grid now because of how many people are there. So I could barely go into detail of any of them. Wow. So this is probably going to be a very, very interesting Spanish Grand Prix. We've already seen that the first few races are a little bit chaos here, but we're going to hope that there's much less support, much more fighting, and yeah, just hopefully a lot less safety cars as well. So let's just see. I mean, yeah, it looks like people are reporting about blocking here because that final corner is, well, the final couple corners actually are quite fast, and there's not really many places to go if you're not in the right place. So we're going to see there might be any reports about that. We're just going to wait for players. I'm going to say formation up is off once again. Right. I'm just going to have to hope now that the lobby doesn't break on me and that we don't get a safety car. That would be a massive pain because then I'll have to invite everybody else back. I'll keep the stream up, but yeah, I'll just have to invite everybody else back. It's a massive pain. We're going to now see now as we come to the 5 red lights, hoping for no stoppages here. We're going to be almost underway. It does this every time. We know that for a fact if we watch the streams. And it's underway. There's no safety car. Sayara's looks to get a better start than J-Horse, and J-Horse actually going to be bogged down a little bit from G. Hargreaves. Looking at all top 3 on the medium tyres, G. Hargreaves is pulling ahead there of J-Horse, but J-Horse keeps going to send G. Hargreaves on the inside, which turns to the inside. Looked like a very nice line from him, going side by side through turn 3 here. J-Horse with the slightly quicker inside line and looks to maybe have got ahead, but G. Hargreaves is going to have the outside line, which is the better line here as well. G. Hargreaves is going to pull ahead. It's not going to do anything for them as Izzy gets up into P2 with a really good switch back there. G Hargreaves basically getting slightly pushed wide there by J-Horse, might have missed his breaking point, and that's how Izzy up into P2 in the McLaren on the soft tyres, which is very needed for them. Hazard now is on the back of J-Horse, but that is a very bad line through there. He might have to worry about defending here, as that was J-Horse going a little bit wide there onto the grass. Hazard trying to make a way past, but he can't do anything there. We'll now see MX Testarossa on the inside there, getting a bit of traction there. Hazard having to brake a little bit late, but J-Horse is right in front of him, so he can't do any of that. Yellow flag in sector 3, looks like Ginstrap off wide into turn 10, I want to say. Hazard is still ahead of MX Testarossa, and that is a very good first lap for people like Izzy. Maybe not a good one for J-Horse, who started on the front row, fell down to 4th. Sayares is ahead and in the lead though. We're going to look at the position changes. Izzy up to, as we saw there from the onboard with G Hargreaves. J-Horse down to. Hazard looks to be ahead of MX Testarossa. Jay Thompson staying where he is on the hard tyres, so that's what we've got to go for them. Stanley Bishop gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so I'm going to assume that was some wing damage. Chaswari gets past one of the guys there, and that is excellent Donald going through there on Scotland, which looks to have made a massive mistake there. And Jimmy Jaggs up 4 positions. Well, best gainer there besides Happus Rooney, so those two having some very nice starts here. Scotland on the soft tyres, looking to try and clear Jimmy Jaggs as well. But I'm just going to quickly cut to these couple of guys here out the top. Sayara is breaking a second away from Izzy, who's also breaking a second away from J-Horse, so he will not have any DRS benefits. So these 4 even, these multiple, in fact, looking very, very close. I think that was Aswan, yeah, having a little spin there, so not good for them. Jim Shred does get past safely, but Aswan is not having a very good start here, dropping down 10 positions from where they started. Sayara is probably going to set on fastest lap here, and we're going to see 14.8, looking at a very nice lap. So yeah, we're going to look at the tyres as well. Looking quite interesting actually, as we see MX Testarossa pulling alongside Hazard. Is he going to get the place? Broken slightly later. Hazard is still on the outside, maybe a little bit of contact there, as MX Testarossa goes a little bit wider than he might have liked, and that is Hazard still ahead. Scotland have Happus Rooney are fighting, but Scotland is ghosted. So just hoping there's going to be no sorts of interesting bits of contact there, hoping with this game. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, no. Not sure what's going on there. I think he's out of the ghosting now, so yep, we're all okay. But yeah, Happus Rooney there in a hash sandwich and trying to get back around the outside, but they cannot do it. Yellow flag 6-2, and that is Izzy. Izzy on those soft tyres, having a mistake of braking the front wing of that car. Apex Rowing Club picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and that is really not the way you want to be taking that turn, especially when you've got other people behind you. Yellow flag in 6-2 still because of that, and hope there's no illegal overtakes here, because that might ruin their races, but that was very bold on the brakes there from WXX. Might have still been under yellow, so they might try and let him by. Maybe trying their best, but no, I don't know what's happened there. Apex Rowing Club looks to have been forced a bit onto the inside and onto the grass. And here we go, Jane Thompson on the hard tyres. One of the only people who are on those hard tyres, in fact, started on them. G Hargreaves gets past J-Horse. Jay Thompson gets past MX Testarossa after he was cutting the curb there. But a couple of people fighting over here. Happus Rooney getting a very bad run through that corner, looking like he broke way too late, and that's allowed Scotland and Jimmy Jaggs back past. Dramatic Rave here on the back of him as well. We've seen him trying to overtake one Haas, he couldn't do it. We've seen now him trying to overtake the other Haas and maybe defend, hopefully for him, from Dramatic Rave. We're going to now see here, once again on the soft tyres, as with Happus Rooney, so doesn't look like there's going to be any tyre difference yet, but we're just going to see actually. And someone who has checked out this race at the moment is Sayara, is 3.3 ahead of G Hargreaves, which it could now be J-Horse. J-Horse going for the inside there. G Hargreaves looking to try and hang around the outside. J-Horse gives him the room, which is very good respect from them, but just slots behind now. And look at that, Hazard as well, lurking in the back there. Jay Thompson as well, keeping him in the DRS range, even on those hard tyres. So he could be a factor within this race if these lot keep squabbling and fighting. Final couple of laps of this race, and maybe overtake a couple of these guys. Although, speaking of overtaking, G Hargreaves is going to go on the inside of J-Horse. J-Horse without DRS, absolutely defenseless here. Hazard as well, going on the inside of J-Horse. Both of them trying to go ahead. J-Horse tries to brake a little bit late, but he cannot defend with the DRS from Hazard and G Hargreaves. And they have both moved up ahead of J-Horse, and he's back now to P4, where he was after the first lap. So we're now going to see, look at all these guys very close together. G Hargreaves looking like he's got the best pace out of these guys so far, but as I say that, he goes completely off. Somehow he's going to save the car out of that purple first sector, and Hazard is back through on G Hargreaves into P2 there, so that's very nice from him. I think he started P6, so yeah, very nice from him. Up 4 positions, and G Hargreaves looks to struggle there, here for a couple of corners because of those gravel on, because of the amount of gravel on his tyres, and that's going to allow J-Horse to turn on the overtake button. Is he going to get ahead of G Hargreaves here? It's the opposite ways. It was the same thing as we saw last lap. Sorry, not the opposite way around. J-Horse still on the inside. G Hargreaves does get a better grip this time though. And J-Horse still trying to go around the outside. This is normally not an overtaking position. You can see why. Because G Hargreaves is doing his best to keep the old racing line. Lots of bits of contact there. And that's going to allow J Thompson on the back of J-Horse as he takes a massive wide line. They both have DRS here, but J Thompson is looking to slowly go ahead and turning on that overtake button. So maybe even past G Hargreaves here. Is he going to think about a send? He is going to try, but on those hard tyres, it may not end well. A little bit of contact there, but he's still in the race, which is exactly what he needs. No spins there at all, and that is him up into 4th place, which is very nice of him. And Hazard looks to have started to build a little bit of a gap here to G Hargreaves, which is very nice for him as well. But yeah, once again, who is even nicer for is right here, Sayara is 4.7 ahead now. The other flag takes a 1. That was okay, Rhino G and Jim Straub. I'm not sure what's going on here actually. Looks like Rhino G's had a legal overtake on Jim Straub, so looks like they've basically ruined their races with that. But yeah, you can tell here, Jim Straub there retiring from the session. That is on track. That looks like a crash, but there is no virtual safety car or any safety car at the moment. And J-Horse is trying a bit of an audacious move there around the outside. Is he going to cut it back on J Thompson because he knows he's got less grip on those hard tyres? Even though that's going to start becoming the better tyre over the rest of these laps. J-Horse loses it and has maybe got away with no damage there. You could still see end plates on, which is going to be very lucky for him if he still has no damage after all that. And he's spinning again. This is really not what he wants. And that has basically ruined his race. So after starting P2, dropping down to P4, even in P5 on the back of J Thompson, he's now all the way down. I'm not going to be surprised if he comes to the pits, maybe retires or just puts on a set of hard tyres. And speaking of some more overtaking here, Jimmy Jaggs has passed Scotland. Hafiz Rooney's got a mega run on Scotland there. Gets ahead, J-Horse retires in the pits, which is very unfortunate to see as his teammate Ryan G goes past him. But yeah, that's Hafiz Rooney ahead of Scotland. But he's gone to the time, obviously goes a little bit wide. Scotland is still there, and that's a very aggressive cut through actually. I'm not sure if that was just me on my stream. Not sure that was me on my screen, sorry, on the stream. But yeah, looking very aggressive there. One of the guys leaving the server was a bit annoying for then. I got these things, it's 2 minutes. Can you go back? Oh no, that's just easy. Never mind. Okay, J-Horse also left the session, so yeah. There's a couple of retirements early on. I'm really not helping them. As one Perry. It's a massive Aston Martin sandwich at the moment. At the moment, this Aston Martin sandwich is basically the fastest people on the field. We had Sayara setting the laps early on, and that's one, even all the way down there in P17, looking very good there with the fastest laps. And also, as we start this next lap, we can see J Thompson pull alongside here. Hazard trying to give him the slipstream, moves back up to cover off G Hargreaves, and that is some very nice teamwork from the Alfa Romeo team. No, they may not be the fastest round this racetrack, but they have got some very nice teamwork there. Hazard giving J Thompson the slipstream, and then blocking off G Hargreaves going to turn 1. Very nice from them. It's what 2 cars can do against only 1 when you're up the field there. Jimmy Jaggs, his teammate, speaking of, in P8, still doing quite well on his medium tyres, although he has picked up a penalty. So we'll put the temperature and update on here. Yeah, so we got a couple 3-second penalties for the track limits, getting out early. I mean, I paid a 33, remember, so it's going to be quite difficult to maintain a good gap if you keep racking up penalties here. We can see Jimmy Jaggs once again in 8th picking up a penalty. Scotland in P9 picking up a penalty. Apex Motoring Club picking up a penalty. And we've got Sammy Bishop. That is for the pit lane going too fast there. Yeah, once again the Aston Martins are just having some crazy pace. I mean, yeah, one of them's already nearly about to lap each other. But as we now see here, hold on. I would just like to note as well, Sayara is basically 100% ERS here, and is in the lead by 7 seconds. I know there's been a lot of fighting here, and Hazard is going to let J Thompson by, that looks like. So, J Thompson maybe starting to come into his own here a little bit on those hard tyres. Maybe the Alfa Romeo team is trying to work together here. Just be a little bit of strategic moves in there. That's Happis really getting past Scotland down the main straight as well. A little bit of ghosting there, so I'm going to assume one of these two are very, very laggy, at least on their screens. They're going to go side by side through turn 3. Looked like there was a little bit of contact there, but they've both come off completely unscathed. And Happis Rooney is still up there in P9. Very nice for the McLaren team after Izzy's spin. So at least there is still one of those McLarens in the top 10. We're going to look at the Alfa Romeos again. Is Jay Thompson going to let them by? Going to hit. Looks like there won't be enough of a straight for that. Maybe on the main straight, depending if Jay Thompson doesn't feel like he's got the pace, but that might make it a little bit clearer. But he's trying to... I'm not too sure what he's trying to do here, because after that slide, it's held up his teammate Hazard, and that has really not played into Alfa Romeo's hands. That's Happis Rooney, I also think, going for a spin there. So as I was saying about McLaren going in top 10, can't do it anymore. Hazard trying his best, turning on the overtake button. G. Hargreaves not doing the same, as he's about 50% ERS, about 50% more ERS there. But what Jay Thompson has to do now is make little to no mistakes like that again. X McDonald gets past Chaz Wari. I'm just going to look at the tyres again, because remember, Jay Thompson is on those far less grippier hard tyres. That's why he was having those slides. But at the moment, this is looking amazing for Cyaris. I mean, it might be looking like they're going to go onto the hard tyres by the end of this. Although Jay Thompson, I don't know here, there's a little bit of contact here. G. Hargreaves on Hazard blocking them aggressively there. Probably trying to show a statement of just please do not be making moves like that. But Hazard climbs on the curb a little bit, starting to lose a lot of time to his teammate David saying, how's it going? I'm alright, mate. Yeah, so at the moment we have some very nice racing here in Spain. Happis Rooney getting past there by WXX, so not so much going on there. But yeah, once again, Sayara is 9 seconds ahead now, basically with 100% ERS. Maybe has a tyre advantage still for now, so the closest competitor is probably Jay Thompson, but we're just going to see by the end of this race if he can even catch up to them. We now see Hazard as well, the Alfa Romeo teammate, trying to defend from G. Hargreaves, but I think it might be a bit powerless here. He's going to go defensive, but he's going to go round the outside. That is a horrible camera angle, but he's going to go round the outside of Hazard using that ERS, and he's probably going to now start to try and chase after Jay Thompson if he can. But Hazard is probably going to not try and let that get away from him. Scotland gets past Jimmy Jags on those 10 up old softs compared to Jimmy Jags' mediums. Still looking quite decent, those medium tyres, but yeah, it looks like the softs here starting to fall away a little bit. X McDonald is having a couple of slides there, it looked like, or at least having a lot less grip than what these medium tyres are they're having at the moment. And yeah, maybe the hard tyres starting to come into play here, because there is no massive gains here from G. Hargreaves in the slipstream of Jay Thompson. Jay Thompson going very defensive there, immediately cutting to the line for the next corner, braking a little bit earlier on those older tyre, or no, on those harder tyres, sorry. Yellow flag 6-1, that just looks like Roto G was having a bit of a slide there. Cyaris comes up to start lap 12. And speaking of starting up 12, these guys are going to start up 12 in a second. Jimmy Jags passed Scotland there, probably up to the centres of that turn, which is looking very nice from him. 10 seconds a gap now between Jay Thompson and Cyaris, but it's only a couple of tenths between G. Hargreaves and Jay Thompson, a couple of car lengths. No car lengths now, and it's G. Hargreaves ahead of Jay Thompson. Looking very nice on him. We've got our first genuine pit stop of this race. X McDonald coming into the pits on those soft tyres and going onto the hards. So that is looking like a strategy of soft to hard there. Don't think that they'll be going for a pit stop in this race. So I'm just going to be assuming here that the hard soft might also be what Jay Thompson's trying to pull out there. Scotland looked like he went rounding outside of Jimmy Jags there, which looked like a lovely move, if I saw that correctly. Rido G picks up a 3-second penalty down in P15, so nothing is going on really for him as he retires in the session into the pit lane, I'm pretty sure that is. Or might be wrong, he might just retire on track, which is nothing you're allowed to do. Left session, already slowing down, so let's see if this Aston Martin is he's on the track, but at least he's out of the way. Doesn't look like he really is sector one there. Yeah, the car's completely full out of the way, and we can all keep going, so that's all right. We're now going to see here Jay Thompson on the back of G. Hargreaves, saved up a bit of the ERS, and he is going to try and go for a move here. We saw him turn off the ERS there for a second. G Hargreaves is just going to stick to the racing line, doesn't fight it too much. Jay Thompson is back ahead of G Hargreaves on those harder tyres, so they might start coming into their own now. Remember, we already saw those soft tyre runners come into the pits, hoping there's no contact there actually between G Hargreaves and Jay Thompson. Yeah, so looking quite defensive as well there, but look at this grip still on the hard tyre. Jay Thompson has a mistake and goes off completely. Probably getting a little bit scared by the switchback of G Hargreaves, but yeah, that is Jay Thompson now, quite a way away from his teammate, and his teammate as well is going to try and do one for the team here, past G Hargreaves and keep going with his pace. We can now see he's going to turn the ERS here. Does not look it. Will he go for any sort of ascent? He looks like he's trying to line one up. He does think about it, but nothing is going to come of that. Looks like Jay Thompson didn't get any damage there, so that is at least good for his race. Unless he spins it now, which he doesn't. So, all okay there. Until he crashes a couple of corners later. Knowing what's going to happen here. Hold on, I'm just going to see here. That was ex-McDonald to Happus Rooney. Yeah, Happus Rooney's having quite a few battles this race, actually. Hazard, as well, was trying to have a battle with G Hargreaves, where it looks like he's too far back now for a lunge into turn one, unless he is really low on the brakes and G Hargreaves isn't coming, but there is nothing doing for that. G Hargreaves, 30% more ERS, and there's a yellow flag next to Reed. Scotland is in the tyre run session coming into the pit lane, I'm pretty sure. You can see there, yep, that's caught him out. Safety car there as WXX also tries to very quickly lunge into the pits, and he has done successfully. So yeah, that was what we were talking about with that bump. We're going to see if we can maybe see it from Izzy. There was a tiny bump there. I'm not sure if we're going to see it from anyone else anymore. But yeah, Antonio, what happened? Whoa, and that's the two McLarens getting very close to each other there. Happus Rooney and Izzy. Although Happus Rooney is still going to be ahead, do their stop first. So that's going to be a little bit painful on the McLaren team, but it doesn't look like they're going to get held up at all really in terms of position. So should all be okay. Now this is going to be quite interesting here, because what I'm going to be assuming is most of these guys up ahead are going to pit for the hard tyres. Jay Thompson might not have a choice here but to go for the mediums. Guys on softs also pit for hards, so yeah, realistically we are going to see everyone on the same strategy, probably besides Jay Thompson, as on those hard tyres he can still have a few laps of saving under the mediums, but we're going to see now, hopefully none of these guys also crash. As I say that, G Hargreaves crashes. Oh, I just said it. And they're going too fast, and that Spain pit lane is catching everybody out today. So this is horrible. Hazard stays out on these tyres, which is a little bit interesting there. Probably not to try and double stack with Jay Thompson as he comes onto the medium tyres. Like I said, Sayari's onto the hards. Oh, it's going to be so unfortunate for G Hargreaves as well. That pit lane catches out so many people, and it's just caught out another one. We've saw the safety car being caused on there, and there's another crash with it. Yeah, pit bump. It's really annoying there. Although yeah, we got a couple of people who may have pitted a little bit early here. Is now up quite a couple of positions here. We got ex McDonald up into P5, which is very nice. In fact, as yeah, we got some people as well like Jimmy Jags. That was like on the Mercedes coming down the main straight, and that is WXX back into P7. But yeah, we got quite a few people who pitted a little bit earlier, getting ahead of some of the other guys who pit a couple laps later on this safety car. So I think what's going to happen here is some absolutely monstrous defensive work from Hazard, because unless he pits now, then it'll be quite obvious that he's going to try and hold up Sayari's behind for a teammate. G Hargreaves leaves the session after that, and to be honest, yeah, I'm not really too surprised. That pit lane bump is very frustrating. So, I mean, it could be that actually, or Hazard maybe trying a medium soft, which is quite audacious, but realistically, he has got a better gap between everyone else now. It's not 10 seconds out in the lead, so no, he does come into the pits. So, look at the medium tyres, just way too worn for everyone else out there at the moment. So, yeah, probably going to see him onto the hard tyres in his pit stop, but that is going to lose him quite a lot of positions now, as he was considering about his teammate Jake Thompson in the pits. So still nice teamwork, but yeah, that's going to ruin Hazard's race now, as he's probably plunge down here to about P11 or P12. You'll see McLaren's are going to overtake Hazard. Looks like Hafiz Rooney is going to. Is he going to be a bit of a long stretch, trying to use the overtake button to get ahead, but it is not going to do anything for Izzy in P12, and Hazard, from the lead of the race, is now down into P11, which is got to be an awful feeling. I mean, sure, he got a couple of that fresher hard tyres there, but that is just really not what you want, especially after being that high up on the grid. So yeah, I'd also like to say, I was saying about everyone going into hard tyres, and then you would just have Jay Thompson as anyone on the medium tyres. No, Chaz Wari as well, who started on the softs, I believe, has gone on to mediums. Yeah, soft medium for Chaz Wari. Very interesting there, actually. Although, from what we're seeing here, we saw people do 13 laps on them. There's only a couple more laps to do with that as well. What we got 29 laps, maybe a couple more, so that'll be around 17 laps on the mediums. It's possible. This would be very, very close there. So let's just see. So we now see is a safety car in this lap at all. I don't think I saw a notification for it, although as soon as one catches up, there we go. It is in this lap. Sammy as well, because as he's been lapped between second and third there, MX Testarossa, Hargreaves booked the pit lane. Oh, okay, right, so Hargreaves booked the pit lane, so hasn't stay out. It looked like he was just trying to be trying to cover his teammate there, but speaking of his teammate, he has not got the best jump off the line, but with that lap car with Sammy Bishop, that has ruined MX Testarossa there, and that car is surely to get out of the way basically very quickly here. So yeah, Hazard now down in P11. Once again, like I said, that was WXX getting passed by Chaz Wari on that main straight. Mathematic Raven, Jimmy Jags going side by side as well. Maybe a little bit of contact. Jimmy Jags hits the curb, and nothing's going there. WXX and Chaz Wari side by side through turn 3. We've got MX Testarossa still ahead of X McDonald, although it's looking very close there. Jay Thompson not making as many gains here at the moment as he might have liked, and that was very late on the brakes of WXX. Jimmy Jags gets back past a massive Rave, who is now having to defend maybe Converter Club and can't do that at all. And that might be the McLaren also there trying to make a send into one of those awkward turns, and he can't do it. And that lets Hazard go right through around the outside, which is a very nice move from him. And speaking of that, look at this other move he's about to pull off here. He's able to do it on the inside, using that overtake button, down the inside on the slightly fresher, harder tyres. He's probably going to get past him. Massive Ray tries to keep him running outside, almost switches into him, but nothing there at the moment. And Hazard's up into P9. And I mean, I did say that he wasn't going to pit, and that's that's a very interesting cut there from Jimmy Jags. But yeah, he's at least still in the race from that, because that can definitely spin you very easily. But yeah, once again, like I said, Hazard, I thought that he was going to be just trying to consider his teammate there, but no, apparently it was a Williams just blocking the pit lane. So unfortunate for him, really. He's now down in P9, but he's trying to make that up, trying to go for a double switch back here on Apex Rowing Club, trying to go for the inside, then trying to make the move into here, but he's running out of ERS, and then he goes into the back there of Apex Rowing Club. He's a little bit slow for that corner, and yeah, it's looking very close. The Apex Rowing Club has basically forced him almost completely off the track. Hazard with a switchback again, trying to get the power down, but he can't do it because of Apex Rowing Club's ERS advantage. And he's still trying to look for a move on the inside. Hazard is giving us some very great racing here. No DRS for the moment, but Hazard is looking a lot faster for the Apex Rowing Club through there. On the inside again, this was no ERS from both of these guys now, both under 10%. Hazard, a little bit of contact out of Apex Rowing Club. He goes a little bit wide, but he's not going to get the traction. Apex Rowing Club stays ahead, but he's gone a bit deep again. Hazard on the inside. Apex Rowing Club almost goes into him. Side by side for the second last corner. Hazard clips the curve, and that is a massive, whoa, that is a massive spin for Apex Rowing Club. A big slide for Hazard, and that has ruined Apex Rowing Club, and I'm not going to be too surprised if there's any reports about that. That is one of the McLarens of Hafiz Rooney getting past. And speaking of, Hazard is now in big trouble here. I don't think he's got any worries with his front wing, but that was almost Aswan there getting past. Izzy's also behind Aswan there, trying to get past as well. Although, just look at this, there's 5 cars separated by about a second here, which is a pretty mental when you think about it. We're going to look at position changes in a second. Although, yeah, you can tell everyone from there, hold on, the Hazard just goes right around the outside as if Hafiz Rooney was an F2 car. That looked mental, that did, the speed difference. As Hazard was just going around the outside on the better line, Hafiz Rooney just on the inside, just absolutely defenceless. So, yeah, just going to have a look now. Hazard is still in the back. I'm just going to look at Hazard for most of this race now. As we're now going to see him try and get past Matic Rave. Is he going to turn on the ERS at all? No, he's not. Matic Rave looks like he has got a lot more strength and speed. Goes a little bit defensive. That is Aston Martin going way too deep into that corner. One of the McLarens gets back past of Izzy, who was in P12 and now up into P10. Hampus Rooney gets past again. Looking at that Red Bull behind there, it's still ghosted, so don't think anything's going to be too bad with that. You look at Hazard here, looking like he might have tried to go a little bit slower and faster out of that corner. Turning on the ERS and the DRS. Mamatic Rave has got no ERS to defend with. Hazard, is he going to go for a move down to turn 1? Mamatic Rave looks like he can't defend from that, and he can't. Hazard up into P8, although now we're going to finally to switch to a different driver, as we now see X McDonald and MX Testarossa both next to each other. And I like to say, with these position gains, everyone in the top 7 has gained some very nice positions here. So IRS, of course, can't gain any positions as you start in P1. Jay Thompson from P7 up to P2, very nice. Chazwari starting P5 up into P3. X McDonald from P10 up into P4, very nice. Chazwari from P9 up into P5. WXX from P11 up into P6. Jimmy Jackson from P14 up into P7. Yeah, looking very nice from all those top 7 there. Hazard down 2, but we already know that he had suffered a little bit from that safety car, and G. Hargreaves having an issue in the pit lane. Izzy is trying to go on the inside, turns to the outside for Matic Rave. That is a very nice move there, as Matic Rave is compromised a little bit on the inside. Not looking like anyone else ahead is going to go for a move just as of yet. Although we're just going to watch, actually no, we're just going to watch X McDonald. Looking like he's turning the ERS, mark my words, there is a lot of fighting going on. Yeah, just fighting is MX Testarossa has a massive snap there as X McDonald gets ahead. We'll look at Aswan Juperi. Looks like he got ahead of Matic Rave down that straight. So very nice going after being almost a lap down from his teammate. Izzy going a little bit wide there, but we're going to go side by side. Hopefully going to see each other. Izzy looks like he's let Aswan through and goes very deep into that corner themselves. But Aswan now up into P9 after once again being almost a lap down from their teammate, who is out in front and just basically controlling this race. What the bloody hell has happened? Quite a lot has happened. Jimmy Strav retired early on. Actually, I was going to say this. Hazard gets past Jimmy Jags on the outside. So Hazard is up into P7 now. So basically, what has happened this race, if anyone's somehow randomly tuning in now, basically, we had Jim Strav DNF early on, and nothing really came of that. Then J-Hor's spinning in that final sector a couple of times, then retiring the pits. Then we had Ride G also retire on this straight. I think you just press retire by normal, like just retire normally option, which you're not allowed to do, but at least didn't cause any issues. And then Scotland there crashing in the pit lane, as we saw Matic Rave and Hampus Rooney almost getting into contact there. So yeah, with the bump in the pit lane has taken out 2 drivers here basically. So Scotland, who caused a safety car with the issue, and one up later, G. Hargreaves falling victim to that bump while trying to pit under the safety car. Yeah, so not really good end to the race for him, realistically. And that was Jimmy Jag climbing all over the curb there. Aswan purposely trying to go for a little bit more of a switchback there, trying to go for a little S, but yeah, trying to go for a little little lower speed, and he was trying to go for a send there, and you can't do anything there for Jimmy Jags as he's defending that pretty decently. Just keep on the outside there. So yeah, basically all that's happened, and Hazard, who was up in P2, I'm pretty sure, before Cyrus pit, or definitely up in the top 3, couldn't pit because the Williams and G. Hargreaves gets in the way of the pit lane entry, and he couldn't box, as Jimmy Jags there has been passed, with G. Hargreaves' teammate, has been passed by Aswan Juperi and Izzy with a very nice send there, I'd like to add. And yeah, the top 6, looking at a game well, just a load of positions here. Once again, Jay Thompson up 5 from that P7 on the medium tyre, but it's starting to fall away here. Everyone has done one stop besides these two. Has the one Jim Berry with 3 stops. Somehow, I'm going to assume that was probably no mistake while he was almost getting lapped. And Sammy Bishop, who is lapped, having another stop. So, doing a look at these guys over here as well. We've got 2 Alpines and a Mercedes leading them at the moment. Both going to have DRS down this straight. Both looking like they've got all pretty similar ERS levels besides Mercedes. And as I say, that Mercedes goes a little bit wide. But at the moment, look at these two. The Alpines are maybe trying to go for a little bit of teamwork here. MX Testarossa and Chazwari looking very close to each other. If they're very sensible about this, they won't try and fight each other. Well, they're just going to see now as Chazwari goes around this corner, or has it going ahead of WXX going before that last corner there, so there might be a little bit of a lift off there. But there is MX Testarossa going up into P3. That's Chazwari trying to make a move, but you cannot do it on a Mercedes. Probably with too little ERS there to spare. Scotland does a session after that crash in the pit lane. An excellent McDonald. Now seeing that blinking light of MX Testarossa and knowing that he's going to have a lot more pace with his ERS despite the tyres that he's on, a couple of laps older than MX Testarossa, and a couple of laps older and also the harder compound compared to Chazwari. I think he's actually picking up another physical penalty. Just going to have a look at the times again. WXX on 3 seconds, Jimmy Jags on 9 seconds, Apex Running Club on 3 seconds, and Sammy on 5. So just have a look at these guys once again. Starting to lead a little bit of a train here, actually. Just go look at the tyres as well for a moment, actually. We're not really going to too fussed about position gains at the moment. X McDonald trying his best to catch up to MX Testarossa, at least to keep within DRS. Maybe a bit of a losing bit there on the curb, and that has allowed Chazwari to close up even further. That's Izzy getting past Aswan Jupari. There's quite a lot of moves being made in those couple of last corners there, so I'm not too sure how that's happening. Chazwari turned on the overtake a little bit there on the Mercedes, but could not do anything of it. X McDonald is not turning on the ERS there, trying to get past, so he's gone very deep into that turn. X McDonald is now, Chazwari, sorry, is now on the back of X McDonald, who's going a little bit wide in all these corners. Maybe his hard tyres are starting to catch up to him with their age. And yeah, at the moment, the gamble of Jay Thompson going on the hard tyres at the start and having that safety car come out at lap 13, that has not helped him too much, as these memes going to start falling away very, very soon, as with Chazwari's. So we saw him go 13 laps, but once again, he's probably going to go about 19, 20 laps now. Izzy gets past WXX again. So yeah, Izzy's pulling up quite a lot of moves here as well. Jimmy Jack picks up another penalty, so that'll be 12 seconds for him. X McDonald is getting very close now to MX Testarossa, who cannot recharge any of the battery. X McDonald is definitely recharged his battery completely fine, 60% going through these last couple of corners. Is he going to turn any of it on through these final corners? He's gone a little bit wide, so it might be advisable to do so, and he is going to do it, but Chazwari's got a better run, also using as much of the overtake as he could. The other back to read, Jimmy Jackson ties on the session in the second last corner. That's a safety car as X McDonald gets ahead of the Alpine. But was that too late? It does not look like it. Let's go look at Apex Rowing Club, see if Jimmy Jackson's car is still there, but it looks like he might have just clipped the curb or went too wide, and as I'm going to assume, smashed into the wall on the right there. So yeah, as we see Apex Motoring Club come into the pits, I'm going to assume his teammate might stay out here, considering where the pack is, although never mind, they might be coming up to the lap Sammy twice there, so might be wrong, but I think Sammy might have to stay out here if he wants to avoid getting lapped again. Although I'm just going to have to see, I think he's already been lapped, so let's see. I'm not too sure. X McDonald gets a drive-through penalty. So the man who overtook that Alpine for P3 is now basically got a drive-through, which has pretty much ruined his race after all of that, which is, well, horrible. He gets another one. X McDonald getting 2 drive-through penalties, which has absolutely ruined it. I'm pretty sure he's got 2 drive-throughs. Yeah, 2 penalties, which are looking like drive-throughs here. I don't know if anyone else is going to get a drive-through at the moment, although just going to quick make sure. Yeah, 2 drive-throughs. So X McDonald is also staying out. Very interesting from him. Thought he'd at least choose this chance to pit under the safety car, but he's not going to do so. Chaz Wari, I think, as well, is also staying out. But they're going to both appear out behind Cyaris there, so I'm not too sure what their thought process is. Izzy's also staying out as well. Their executives staying out, Aswad Perry staying out. Both the Alfa Romeos going for the more aggressive strategy of going to fresh soft tyres. Hafiz Rooney stays out in P8 now. So yeah, we've only got a few people pitting onto the fresh soft tyres, which I think is quite surprising. I thought it'd be a lot more people than just this, but as it turns out, well, it almost looks certain that Cyaris is going to win this race. We've seen their pace on the older tyres, we've seen their pace on the hards, we saw their pace definitely in qualifying, and we're now going to see it absolutely blitz away from Max McDonald if he stays out for a couple more laps, and if not, it'll definitely be blitzing away from Chaz Wari. So, this is looking very interesting now as Sammy Bishop, I don't know if he's actually lapped now. He might not be lapped, I'm not too sure. I don't think he is, so at least good for him. He's gone to medium tyres as well, so I'm just going to assume he's used all his softs either earlier on in the race or in qualifying. He's trying to push to get back up, but I don't think it's too much of a rush. Safety car can still stay out for a couple of laps before it needs to come in. But yeah, I'm just going to show you here. Cyaris is probably the one to easily set fastest lap here now. Aswad Perry was on the mediums earlier on in this race. Cyaris is fast up on those harder tyres. And Jay Thompson's the only one who's been quite close, also on those medium tyres. So, realistically, this is looking like Aston Martin dominance here. However, with the choice to not go onto the soft tyres from Aswad Perry, who was almost a lap back at one point, might not try and come back and bite him here because he's got the championship leader Jay Thompson behind him at the moment. And yeah, for Alfa Romeo, they're down in P7 and 10. The Alpines, respectively, are P3 and P9. It'll be P3 and P8 once X McDonald. Oh no, it'll be P2 and P8. Sorry, once X McDonald comes in and serves the drive-through. So this might be a mini mistake from the Alfa Romeos. This might be a mistake from the Alpines. We don't know yet because they are both the closest to each other in the constructor standings. I wanted to say, just have a quick check. Yeah, separated by 15 points, but Alpine in P2 at the moment have the massive upper hand of the track position. Especially where Chaz Wari is, still on those medium tyres. A little bit of a hit there, and that's easy half span round, but I hope there's no penalties for anyone there. It's forced to slow everybody else up, but looking at there's no damage, looking at there's no penalties, so a bit of a risky moment there, but at least everyone's come off basically unscathed from that. Good from WXX to keep Izzy her place, basically, after just slowing down then. It looks like everyone's caught up. Looks like Sammy as well. Oh no, he's still lapped. Never mind, Sammy is still lapped, so unfortunate for him, but he's not going to be on the lead lap here, and it looks like he's just going to finish P13, unless there is any DNFs up front, and we're only going to have about 5 laps of racing here, more than enough for the soft tyres. Will it be enough for these worn tyres? It'll definitely be enough for the medium tyres at the bottom there as well, but we're just going to see now. We're going to look at X McDonald. Actually, no, we're going to look at Cyaris because X McDonald might come into the pits for the driver penalty. Cyaris holding both the throttle and brake there, probably trying to keep the brakes and front tyres warm. Also with all the ERS, lets it go now. X McDonald is still going to carry on, but this is going to hurt his race the longer he stays out, because eventually he might not be able to set that drive-through. But also, someone who is on a charge here as well is Izzy, pulling alongside Chaz Wari. Is anyone going to try and make it 3 wide? WXX is going to absolutely send it on the brakes. He's going to keep it there. Half loses it. Chaz Wari gets back up into P3, but that was looking very nice from him. He's still getting position from it. Jake Thompson trying to go right on the outside of Aswad Perry, who's also got the Alpine on the side of James Thompson, blocked out a little bit there. Aswad tries to go for a send, got a bit of contact there, but he's going to be ahead. There's an Alpine losing it as well. That is MX Testarossa, who was up, and that is also James Thompson hitting into the back of Hafiz Rooney. That is definitely going to be a report there. This is an absolutely mental race that all kicks off. Alfa Romeo are going to have an absolutely horrible time here. That was Mamatic Rave almost going to the back there. There's, that was on the lap cars. Apex Smart Ray Club on the outside there, only just finding enough space for his car.
but he's not through just yet. So look at the interval gaps. Hazard going down the inside of Aswan Jupari on those hard tyres. And Jupari goes a little bit wide. Jay Thompson's now on the back of him. Aswan Jupari leaves barely any space for Jay Thompson. He's going to go right on the outside. Surely the tight end is going to carry him through into this final corner, and he is going to do so easily as well. Trying their best to get past WXX here, even though they got a penalty. They're going to still try and do it. Turning on that overtake button, going really defensive, but they're going to pull to the outside. WXX tries to go as on the outside as possible, trying to keep that racing line. Izzy gives them the space, but there's a little bit of contact there, and Izzy's also spun around it. It's horrible from the McLarens. You can't really hit the track either, so if anyone reports that, that is going to be a penalty coming Izzy's way. That's a massive raid going wide there. That was Apex Motoring Club getting ahead, I'm pretty sure. Hazard is on the back of WXX. Izzy going to go for a send here. He's not going to do it, but WXX is also quite low on the brakes and covers it off on the inside. Hazard turning on the overtake here, going to go for a move, hoping WXX backs out or just doesn't have the grip, and that is what he's going to do. Jay Thompson now on the back of WXX. Both the Alfa Romeos are, after a little bit of a horrible restart there, is back up into this race. Very close there to the grass for Jay Thompson, but he's up into P5. WXX tries to hang around the outside, but he just doesn't have the tyre grip for it. He gets another wobble, and that's Aswan Jupari there, also on the outside. That's a lap car of Sammy there. He is allowed to at least try and fight, but he's not been able to almost there. Aswan Jupari span round that Mercedes. That is X McDonald coming to the pits there, trying on the last lap of the drive-through. Can't do anything with that, but that is almost 3 wide. I got baited by the other Red Bull there, but that's Aswan Jupari ahead of WXX. That is Hazard trying to get past Chazwari there, trying to break that Alpine second place that he's held for a very long time. At least trying to just hold the top 3. Trying to go right around the outside, but that is a mistake from Hazard. He's going to come onto the track and spin the car as well. That is horrible. That is really not what he needed. Probably trying to catch up in the championship and trying to catch up for Alfa Romeo. He's went from a podium spot down to P9. That was horrible of him, completely misjudging his braking zone. At least tries to get back past Izzy there. Let's go watch this really quickly as we go into this turn 8, I'm going to say. Might be turn 7, I'm not too sure. But now we're going to see his other teammate, Hazard, failed to do what he was trying to do there, go around the outside. Can Jay Thompson do the same in any of these corners, or will he fail just like his teammate? We don't know as we go on to the last couple of laps of this race. Sayares has absolutely checked out this race. It helps that Chazwari and X McDonald were there with those drive-through penalties, with those old tyres. But look at this gap as Jay Thompson absolutely sails past on the DRS. He's going to be able to get ahead, using the overtake to pull away as much as he can. And yeah, look at that. 11.7 seconds after all that fighting behind. After a couple laps as well. Pretty sure it's about 5 seconds after only 2 laps. So full credit to Sayares there, doing very good, I'd have to say. And looking like a basically certain for this race win, unless there's any massive problems going on in the last couple of laps of this race. A massive rave. Looking like he might have made a mistake there. As Hazard and Izzy got past, Hazard with those very low ERS levels, Izzy with the very low tyre wear, no, very high tyre wear, sorry, on those hard tyres, and also the hard tyres, very hard to grip to the surface, especially when they're very worn with 18 laps on them. Hazard trying to get past, using DRS and ERS, looking probably for a move here. As also Epic Motoring Club is going to go and send, I'm pretty sure that was WXX, trying to send him wide, but he could not do it. As Epic Motoring Club, just went way too late on the brakes there. And WXX, looking like he just went for a switchback, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that was, Sayares nearly finished in the first sector. MXS Rossler, after that spin, gets past. Aswan Jupari gets past Chazwari as well. Aswan on those 20-lap-old hard tyres, and is somehow on the podium still, even after some of these guys have got those fresh soft tyres on, some medium tyres on as well. I mean, but Chazwari probably is starting to feel that tyre grip go completely away from him here. But he is setting a faster first sector here. Those revs are absolutely horrible. I don't know if you're all hearing them there, but that was absolutely horrible. That is, that's just the Red Bulls again. One of them's ghosted, so I can't do anything else there. Hazard didn't go for a move there. He's going to try and go for any sort of switchback, because these are the closest 2 people on the track at the moment. Izzy's covering off very carefully. Hazard trying to go later on the brakes, maybe almost tapping Izzy round, but it doesn't look like anything's going to happen there. But we're just going to turn to Cyrus here as they come round the final corner, using on the ERS, only a set fastest lap. They do not, but they win the race by a massive margin after only about 5 laps of racing. A massive margin for them. Jay Thompson is going to come home in P2, a good 13.5 seconds back, but I'm sure he'll be very happy with the P2 after starting P7. As will Duperi, after being last at one point, is up into P3 on those 21 lap old hard tyres. Chazwari in P4 and those 19 lap old mediums as well. WXX also on those 20 lap old hards is overtaken by Hazard in the end after penalties. Only just 17 thousandths of a second there, so it's very close between them all. So yeah, Hazard up in P5 after going for the soft tyres at the end. WXX doing a very nice race, trying to hold on there, but in the end could not do it. Holding to P6. Apex Motoring Club up into P7, their best result yet. Izzy on their first race as well, 20 lap old hards, P8 for them. Couldn't read the rest of the grid, but I'll do like another. Yeah, I'll do another very quick thing here. Just gonna wait for all the race results to be done. Driver of the day goes Aswan Duperi, and probably for a load of overtakes as well. He's been doing very nice there, setting the pace also early on, even though he was basically borderline last. So very nice from them. That is the Malaysian flag, the Malaysian dominance, as we see 2 of them on the podium, both the Aston Martins, and we have a Brit there as well. Aswan Duperi, well, that was fun. That's all we like to hear here, and that's good. So yeah, Cyrus takes the dominant win there, pole, race win, the fastest lap. I don't think they led every lap, but it was pretty close to. Jay Thompson up in P2 from P7 on the grid, style on hard tyres, going to the mediums, and then going to the softs again. So very nice from them. Aswan Duperi, after 3 stops in this race, gets the podium, and once again was nearly last in the race, so very good from them. Chazwari in P4, just trying to keep any sort of constructor's hopes for Alpine alive, and he's still doing that quite nicely. Hazard in P5 after also doing the same thing as what Jay Thompson did, his teammate, and going onto the soft tyres. They were 2 of the highest soft runners actually by the end of the race there. WXX in P6 after starting P11, that free second penalty just dropping to behind Hazard. Apex Motoring Club P7, Izzy in P8, Matic Raven P9, MX Hesterossa rounds out the top 10. Happy Rooney in P11, X McDonald in P12, Sammy in P13 after being lapped. And we've got non-finishers in Jimmy Jags, G Hargreaves, Scotland, Rido G, Jay Hawes, and Jim Strav at the end of this race. And that is round 3 around Austria in ARL. Pretty eventful race, but that was probably the best race we've had so far, with a lot of overtaking and, yeah, a lot of different strategy choices as well, I like to say. Hopefully everybody really had a lot of fun then. But, yeah, just a very fun race, very clean to those last couple of laps, but I'm sure that with everybody trying to fight for those last positions, I can always understand there won't be as many clean battles then. But yeah, congrats to our winner, Cyrus, the first race for them. And yeah, that's all I've really got to say here. Very nice race, and I'm pretty sure the next race is at Austria, so hopefully you all can tune in for that one. There's probably going to be quite a few stewards reports, so they won't be the final results, of course, as well. And yeah, Austria is going to be our first sprint race. So how our sprint races are going to work, we're going to have a reverse championship order. And how we're going to do this is basically a reverse championship, no qualifying, of course, as we're going to reverse the order in the grid. And what we're going to do, we're going to start the sprint race with that reverse order. Once again, it's still 50% race, so it'll be 50% sprint. And around Austria, we're going to hopefully see a lot of overtaking, maybe a bit desperate moves, but we're just going to have to wait and see there. And yeah, then we're going to have a week break, as we're going to have 4 rounds, and we'll be back as well for Silverstone afterwards. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. And hopefully you will be very happy with that result. And yeah, I shall see you all next week for round 4 around Austria. Goodbye, everybody.